You just knocked on the door and they let you in?
Yep. They're open to the public. They've got videos, models, guided tours. I took the piss.
Come and see Scottish Nuclear at Hunterston. The visitor centre is open daily from 9:30 to 4:30, just off the A78, south of Largs.
OK. Can I have my nuclear-powered lawnmower back then? You've had it a month.
Blacks, the outdoor experts, have now opened their second store in Glasgow at 17 Union Street. So whether you're into walking, climbing or camping, you'll find all the top-brand equipment you need. And to celebrate, there are some fantastic opening offers with up to 50% off selected products. Stock all the top outdoor brands like Birdhouse, Carrymore and Live 7. So there are hundreds of bargains to be had. So now you can be those outdoor experts
And for Scotland, and you can buy it today for just 10p.
Whoa.
10p? Yeah, just 10p.
DJ Miko, 8:25. Mark Goody of Steve. Right, final day today. Right, he's back on Monday. Normal service resumed on Monday. 9 o'clock this morning at the Mayo Show. God of the Day, David Coverdale. 11:33 from the B-52s. Free movies in the morning. Dead or Alive, and at 12, the brilliant all-weather beach party. Bruno with the Road Show. 12:45. Ballard Clock Lomond, fantastic swing out sister Joe Roberts. 2 this afternoon, Claire with Superman and The Grin. And on our Grin this morning, we have Stephen Wright. Fantastic stuff. 4 o'clock at Campbell with Clive Anderson, star guest. We start just before the travel. Who created the Flintstones, Hanna-Barbera? Judy Depper of Solihull gets a huge prize package full of I knew I couldn't get it right every time. Flintstones freebies. And one more contest in the next half hour. East London, the A206 Woolwich Road, down to 1 lane eastbound at the junction with Warspit Road. This is because of an overturned lorry. And it says here, at 1 p.m. British summer time, similar action by Southern French controllers is likely over the weekend, up to 7 o'clock UK time. I think this is on Sunday, which is just a total nonsense, really. I think we should boycott their stuff until they let us go on holiday. 8:27. I almost got angry there for a minute. Did you hear that? I love French bread and pâté, all in the same place at once.
Doesn't notice. I mean, why should I feel guilty about my little fantasy? It's not my fault I want more out of 7 nights in bed than 7 good nights sleep. I'll go back down to the BHS sale.
To be continued. Clyde 1FM. Live. Detectives probing the murder of...
Don't miss your copy of the Scotland Today newspaper. You can buy it now for just 10p. Did you say 10p?
Clyde 1FM. The winning is just beginning. £100 minute to win it with Bob mid-morning with Gary and...
July. OK, it's from Luton in Bedfordshire. What about a bit of the old garlic charm? I had a cassoulet myself last night, you know, with the old Toulousain sausage, the boudin Toulousain. And very nice, too, I'm bound to say. In fact, rather like the Balti. It keeps coming back like a song. Here's Charles has no voice. A little more truffle oil, my dear?
Julian Lloyd Webber.
Oh, aye. Julian Lloyd Webber. Who's he a brother of?
From 3:30, the Ed Stewart Show plays music from Anne Murray, Vic Damone, Van Morrison and Julio Iglesias.
Haydn's string quartets, opus number 6 in A, one of the Sun quartets, written in 1772, when Haydn was 40 years old and just about to become internationally famous. The nickname for these quartets came from an edition published in Amsterdam which had a splendid engraving of a radiant sun god on the title page in neoclassical style. The last movement of number 6 is a...
Hill captain David Bates, who was clearly excited at the prospects of playing at Lord's.
Very exciting. We're slightly spoilt because we did reach the finals
of the indoor six-a-side competition last year, and we was in the last 4.
It's 9 minutes to 9, John.
Well, it's
John!
the way I am, Terry, because I have the fortune to work with a great star.
Yes, you're very lucky. I am not so lucky.
Why?
I don't know. I don't want to hurt the person's feelings. Look,
I mean, you see why I'm grumpy, can't you? Because, I try and be nice to you, and I get nothing back.
Yeah, there is a description of the kind of person you are, but you've already asked me not to use the word.
Curmudgeon.
Hooray, hooray, John Marsh is back.
Uh-huh.
And not as feared, got the sack. We thought that's where he was heading when the winch line failed and his organ plunged at Frank and Deadly's wedding. But then we heard him play with gusto on National Music Day. Even Ken Bruce's hit-and-miss drumming didn't spoil his play. We've been at the end of our tether without his news and weather, and the traffic report isn't quite the same sport.
Yes.
But now he's
returned
back to cheer our morn, and taken away from Terry. His voice and charm will soothe the dawn and keep us all more...
Mary?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who that's from.
Who's that from?
That's from Anne in Newbury in Berkshire, right?
Anonymous.
And, yes, exactly. I do wish she'd say who she is. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Well, because I've got one here. She's fed up with waiting for you to read it, so she sent me her own version.
We could have read it together.
We could have done, but yours was slightly different.
Huh?
But she's a very dear soul, this, and she keeps sending me... She travels around the country, you see, and whenever she goes into the local cathedral, gets a picture of the organ and sends it to me. But all I know is...
Have you sent her a picture of your organ?
Well, if I had her address, I would, Terry. So, if you're listening, Anne, from Newbury in Berkshire, tell me your address and I'll be round to see you, because you sound a nice
Look here. This is a national music station. This is not a place for
but there was Stella,
those kind of liaison dangerous type exchanges. Please.
Well,
Can you sort of hold yourself in check?
I need something now.
Of course you do.
Marital.
Well, it's your own fault.
No, it's not.
You keep these things to
merely
yourself.
Asked for a bit of sympathy and didn't work.
Parading your broken heart in front of everybody. Come along now.
Stella in Rotherham who sent me a bar of chocolate. So somebody likes me.
Did you get a bar of chocolate from Stella?
Yeah.
Thought I was the only one that got a sweetie from Stella.
Oh, she sends you them? Well, you've never given me any.
I could have done with a bar of chocolate yesterday. We were attempting to trap horses yesterday. The urban cowboys of Dublin, you know.
Yes.
They're like plains Indians here.
That's why
they buy horses and keep them in their back garden or upstairs in the kitchen. and they ride them bareback around Dublin. Honestly, it's like Dances with Wolves.
I'm sorry, Dad. Do you know, I missed that again. The second time this week, someone said, can I do a test for you, John, for the 9 o'clock news? It's extraordinary.
Well, don't you have a kind of a system where you put on a red light and
yes.
then people know that you're broadcasting?
And there's a window here. I'm about 4 feet away from this person, and presumably he thinks I'm sitting here grinning and talking to myself. And
well, you see, there is...
What's going on?
You can understand how the man feels.
Yes,
you know, working as broadcasting.
Yes, well, I'm bored of this now.
Okay.
What happens when I'm bored?
I know.
Press the button.
BBC Radio 2 Travel News.
It's nearly 5 to 9. In Cambridgeshire, the northbound A1 at Sawtry is completely blocked by an accident involving a lorry. Southbound traffic is also delayed because of drivers slowing down to have a look. And there are still delays heading for Heathrow Airport from the M4 Airport Spur at Junction 4, but repairs to the tarmac have now been completed. And that's the travel news this morning.
And if you've got a few minutes before you leave, you might care to drop us a fax about our programme or anything in our programme today or any time during the week because of our letter slot tomorrow morning. Let me remind you of our number, our fax number that is. It's 071 580 4764. That's 580 4764. You could, of course, drop us a line as well, but that won't get you in time for tomorrow, I don't suppose. Anyway, that's BBC London W1A 1AA. And we are the Today programme. Good morning.
And today's editors were Kerry Thomas and Audrey Green. In just over 5 minutes, the writer Sybil Marshall will be choosing her Desert Island Discs. Last year she produced her first novel in her 80th year. She'll be talking to Sue Lawley at 9:05. Now, she started singing at 16. He was Mr. Music, creating such classics as Wonderful, Summertime and Rhapsody in Blue. And this morning in Woman's Hour from the north, Elaine Del Mar joins Ruth Pitt to celebrate the music of Gershwin. Woman's Hour at 10:30. This week's letter from Scotland, Ruth Wishart reflects on Scottish women and their lives in the 1990s.
Despite the climate, despite a wind chill factor which was often unforgiving, even in the bedroom, sex has always been a popular Scottish pastime, often rather more popular than getting married. And while the rest of Britain has spent the last few years scouring the dictionary for a politically correct word for an unmarried partner, the Scots have looked on with some amazement. We know what to call the unmarried partner who shares bed and board but no legal standing. It's our bidey-in, of course.
And you can hear Ruth Wishart's letter from Scotland at 10:15 this morning. Now, weather and travel, beginning with travel. In Berkshire, the southbound A34 at Newbury still has delays because of a broken-down lorry and an oil spill just south of the Robin Hood roundabout at the A4 junction. As for the weather forecast for until dawn tomorrow, well, most places will have a dry day with sunny spells, but northwest Scotland will have scattered showers, and southwestern coastal areas will be affected by mist and low cloud at first. This evening and tonight, southern parts of England and Wales may have an isolated thundery shower. Otherwise, the night will be dry and mainly clear, apart from patchy mist. During today, the south of England and Wales will become very warm, while northern parts of the UK will be fresher than recently. And the outlook for the weekend, mainly dry with sunny spells, but with a continuing risk of scattered thundery showers. And that's the weather forecast. This is Radio 4.
BBC News at 9 o'clock on Friday the 22nd of July. The Americans are launching a big airlift of supplies for Rwandan refugees. Tony Blair has insisted that Labour won't publish detailed tax plans before the next election. A suspected terrorist bomb attack in Reading has been foiled by a thief.